Good morning, trade pros, and welcome to our morning market update today. It is Tuesday, November. Let me just adjust the mic here. Tuesday, November the 18th of 2025. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful start to your morning. We got a lot to talk about for the market, so let's get into it. Good morning to Michael, what's up, buddy? Marco, King Kong, and Polly. Good morning as well, Polly, and everybody, and I'm happy you're all here. Just trying to find my notes. It's so weird that these ones are, these are pinned, that's why. Okay, well, that's fine. Wait, what? Weird start to the session. I don't have the notes. They should be here. I can do it without notes, to be honest with you, but it's just not going to capture the full essence. Oh, maybe it's the issue with Cloudflare. I'm going to just turn around, guys, for this one. Everything is down. Sonny, what's up, buddy? Bob, what's up? Yeah, everything is just down today. So basically, that's what I was kind of going to start the update with. Cloudflare is having a massive outage. You're getting error 500 messages all across the board, from X to Discord to Shopify to DoorDash. Gaming networks and major web services are down. Most of it doesn't really impact me. And I just tested Sierra, which is working fine, which thank goodness is the case. The broker tends to be working fine. I put in an order and canceled it. So that seems to be going good. And so everything I'm kind of using is working, including my news service. So when these kind of things happen, I like to use it as a stress test. And everything I've chosen is bulletproof and rock solid this morning. So that's good news. All right. Issue is global. It's affecting a lot of different services. All right. Cloudflare seems like it's coming up a lot with these outages. It's an interesting situation. Looks like it might be impacting Apple as well. No cyber attacks, nothing, but just know that it could be later on deemed to be a cyber attack, but just know that you could be facing some slowdowns and challenges with everything today. I try to post an update on X. It's definitely not working. All right, markets this morning in Europe are down quite a bit. They're red. Stocks is down 1.3, DAX 1.2, and FTSE down 1.2 as well. U.S. futures are down modestly, but not a ton. Okay, and 1 second. U.S. futures are down modestly, but not a ton. About 0.3% on S&P, Nasdaq about 0.3%, and the Russell the same. Dollar's flat. Bitcoin is down 4.5%. Ethereum down 4.2%. So crypto definitely getting hit the hardest. And then the European markets are down quite a bit as well, but that's from the handover of the U.S. session yesterday to euro. So euro readjusted to the downside, and now S&P is down less. So we could be finding some support. All right, on the macro data front, we had ADP weekly estimates this morning. We also have durable goods and factory orders. News is starting to trickle back out again after the government reopened. So something for you to look for, top of the hour at 10 a.m. Also, Europe opens up a market investigation into Amazon's AWS and Microsoft's Azure under the DMA. And, considering Cloudflare is having so much issues, maybe they should start the investigation there. Home Depot, big miss on earnings per share. So that's down. And that's kind of the macro and overall data front. Equities, Europe is all red. U.S. futures are steady, but soft. We're counting down the biggest two events coming up of the week, and they're both tomorrow. And tomorrow after the morning market update, I'm taking off. I'm not trading any of this stuff tomorrow. I don't want to be part of it. But we have NVIDIA and we have Federal Open Market Committee's FOMC event, which will give us whether we cut rates, dot plots, projections, SOPs, all that stuff is due tomorrow. So going to be quite a bit of volatility. And because tomorrow's a volatile day, I wouldn't be surprised if it stays a little bit more muted, despite the fact that, we're getting some volatility. We have gotten it yesterday. But as we get later into the session, I think prices sort of settle, get a little more range bound. Potentially, it doesn't have to be the case. But I'll tell you the plan in a second for trading wise. All right, commodities commodities, WTI is near 59.90. All right, after overnight sell-off, gold's holding above 4,000. Still kind of weak risk sentiment on it, and that's where we're at on the commodities front. Yeah, Michael, that's crazy, right? First AWS and Microsoft, now Cloudflare. What was AWS and Microsoft today? Didn't know about that. That's crazy. Okay, the one thing I wanted to do today is kind of talk about something on the options front really quickly. There, 0-day expiry options, 0 DTE, day to expiry, are very popular with day traders, and they now make up 60% of all S&P 500 options volume. All right, and they're mostly covered calls and iron condors, which is basically selling delta, short delta on a 0 DTE, hoping the market stays within a certain range to collect premium that you're paid at the beginning. So you collect the premium and you hope it expires within that range to profit on it. The problem with it is it's doing two things to the market and one thing to the trader. One thing to the trader is you're not really getting that much premium with 0 DTE if you're writing, but these strategies are forcing the dealers of options, and we talked about Gamma in the morning market update 2 days ago. Highly recommend you watch that if in conjunction with this, but I want to build on that little mini series of education. Is, it's forcing dealers to sell into strength and buy into dips, all right, which is kind of pinning the S&P in tight ranges, and it's basically doing this in the last final 30 minutes. It's more pronounced in the session, but it's having the effect because retail traders are short iron condors, all right, and that adds a lot of supply to the upside on call options, and dealers have no choice but to kind of protect that pin range, to sell that resistance wherever the call walls are, and to buy the support wherever the put walls are. The reason being is they're hit with a lot of gamma exposure that they're having. So this is kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy for the people who are selling iron condors and the covered calls. So why I'm saying this is to say that there's kind of more and more emphasis on these put and call walls. I never used to look at them a lot before when I traded, and I started to towards the end as retail option volume exploded, but the more retail option volume that's traded, the more that it starts to factor into the equation for the market, especially the latter half of the day and the closes, but also straight up off the open too. It's just something to kind of mark. So we're going to go with that, and then I'm going to tell you guys the levels. For the call and put walls, I have the levels of 67, 65. You could actually see it here on the chart. 67, 65 is this red. This is the put wall. The resistance, and then the call wall that I have is down here at the 6,600. There's going to be a lot of activity here. Instead of call wall, you can call it Paul Wall too. What did Paul Wall say again? Rob the jewelry store and buy me a grill. Every time I say call wall, I think of Paul Wall. I got to get him on here. That'd be kind of funny. Okay, so let's talk about the trading plan then for the day. So yesterday's kind of lean was to look for early morning weakness to buy, but then to see an afternoon sell-off. Well, we got a little bit of weakness, but we actually just ripped off of the open twice. So I'll show you the context of the day, and I'll do a trade plan for today. Today's trade plan isn't that exciting, sadly, but none of them should be exciting, really. Okay, we opened down here. We got a little bit of a bullish lean. And I'm like, we're going to get some weakness. I thought it was going to be a strong day to close into. I thought it'd be a rally day. It was a good low level, good location, good order flow supporting it. And we did get 2 attempts. Oh my gosh, what is going on with this pen? We get 2 attempts to the upside. This is not an insignificant rally. These are, look, 65-ish area into 16. That's 50 points. It's 30 points and then 50-point rally. So the buyers did show up right where we expected them to, and that's kind of where we had our trade, was to the upside in the trading room, because we caught the moments where sellers were overdone. And there was one moment in particular down here that was such a fantastic order flow moment that really pinpointed that transition, and I made a short reel about it that should be out on YouTube probably soon. I don't know. I gotta talk to our social media manager, but that was a great trade. And then, I mean, the bottom fell out. I don't know what to tell you. It just got really bearish for the rest of the day. I wasn't even around when it got really bearish. I only trade from like now until 11 a.m. to be perfectly honest with you. And most of the time, I'm done within the first hour of trading. I don't want to sit around the screen watching more than about 60 minutes. So the trading plan today then is, for the first 60 minutes, is to, first of all, zoom in here properly. The trading plan is this. This is what happened. Opens yesterday. We get 2 upside attempts. We break. We go down, and we set the low at 66.35, which is a problem because it's 100 points lower than the open. Okay? And the low was set around 157, almost like 2 o'clock. By the close, we did manage to get, this is here, my bad. By the close, we managed to get a little bit of a rally into the 66.93, and then overnight, we pulled down into the low of 66.35, and this is lower lows, lower highs. All right, overnight highs lower than the overnight high, overnight highs lower than the open. The overnight low is lower than the prior day close. The prior day close is below the open. Everything's just moving down in sequence, and it's looking pretty bearish. The thing is, I still think the bear is a little bit overdone, but the problem with that statement is, if it's Thursday morning and we've had NVIDIA come out already and we've had the FOMC, these are 2 really big events. If that's the case, then you could say we're done selling if things are looking positive. All right, if the Fed cuts, NVIDIA has good earnings, you could say, you know what, yeah, selling looks to be done. There could be a shot to the upside. There's a lot that rides on tomorrow, and just sitting here and trying to call it right now is gonna be irrelevant in the next 24 hours. So for the day's plan, I'm gonna give you a plan for the day and what I'm looking for. But I'll tell you this very, very carefully, is the later it gets in the day today, the goofier it's gonna get. There's too much riding on tomorrow. And the day before the day of what's riding on is gonna be a challenging day to trade. Tomorrow, I'm not taking part in it at all. I used to trade these events, used to trade the FOMC, be like, you know what, man, let's trade this volatility. I'm now 40 years old. I have a family, and the volatility in my heart rate needs to be reduced. So I don't like these events. I don't like trading these days. So I'm going to be gone. I'm going to do the update tomorrow and be out. And then Thursday, we pick it up and we kill it. So, yeah, exactly. I'm sitting on my hands, too. I'm going to keep them warm. It's cold in Florida. Right, Mikey? It's getting cold out here, man. We've had a cold snap. So I got to keep my hands warm as well. So I'm going to sit on them as well. But today, I have just one more idea. Not one more idea, but this is the plan for me that I'd like to see. The key level for me is a 66.35. I think all the action is revealed down here. All right. So if we stay above the 66.35, I'm looking for a moment to tell me that this thing could go bullish. That moment looks like some buyers and the buy imbalances. If you guys see what we do in the trading room, all those moments are very apparent to you already. You know exactly what to look for. Or the other thing would be a break below and a pull up into it again. We are looking for that order flow pattern. So there's the 2 levels on the buy side. I'm looking for an order flow pattern, either a failed break or a retest of the low, or a break that fails rather and goes back into the range. Those are 2 of the bullish moments. The only way this kind of takes more bearish turn is if we break and we come back up into this level, and even though we're already long off an order flow moment, it just isn't going, and everything is flipping too. There's many people who like to trade and say, if I get into a trade, I'm set it and forget it. If I get in, I'm only getting in by a stop loss or a take profit. That's so rigid. I do it a little bit different. I say, if I get in and I lose the conditions that got me in, I lose the trade, I'm out. I'm not afraid to adjust. So you could get yourself in these areas where you make less or make the same amount on less dollar moves. But don't be so rigid. Let the market conditions dictate what happens. So that's going to be my first long attempt before the failed low, a retest. Then I'm going to try a failed low with the right order flow patterns. Likely they'll both work. All right. And then if on that retest things just slow off, then down we go. I may join the short. But if I've gotten 2 trades before that, I'm not going to join the short. The danger here is buying the low, which may not end up being a low, and it continues short, and you're not on the short side, and you got hit 2 times on a stop loss on the long. That's the absolute worst case scenario. Do I want to short above? I don't know. If we get up into this 96, just shy of the 6,700, I like it. There's a lot of paper long yesterday here, right? Like 4,449. Sorry, that's a lot of paper short. 4,449 contracts. That's a lot. And then we got a prior top. We got the overnight high. So yeah, 93 to like 67.04 would be a good level to try it if it gets up there. And I will. But the thing I'm looking for again is the order flow moment. Little box. That something has to happen within this box with very specific requirements. And then yeah, I'll try it. All right. That's what I got. No, it was a few. Oh yeah, that one, Mike. I remember that one. The AWS. That was bad. Sitting on my hands. This 60-degree weather in the morning is freezing, bro. I think my blood's thinned because, like, as a Bulgarian-born, Toronto-raised, Florida-residing human being, it's cold for me too. I think my blood's thin because I'm sitting here telling my wife, I'm like, what? Geez. Is it a problem that it's cold? And she's like, no, it's going to be a problem when you go visit your family in the winter. It's going to be the problem. You want to see the spread? I got that on TradingView. I could show it to you, but I got some cool dashboards I'm working on. John, you follow the spread? I mean, that's really good for Fed analysis. I'll show you my Fed dashboard. Oh, I gotta verify my personal information. Oopsies. Let's see if we can bypass it. No, we can't bypass it. I can't show you what I was trying to show you. I'll do a piece on it next time. I gotta update my info on TradingView. I don't think I should do it on the live stream. But remind me tomorrow. I'm gonna show you some cool stuff on. You know what? I'll do that in tomorrow morning's update anyways, because that's where it's gonna be important. We have the Fed. We have a lot of stuff coming out. All right. That's it, guys. I love you. I'm going to try to see if I can snipe some longs. Like I said, let's rehash the plan very quickly. Try to snipe some longs on either a retest and hold of this low or a break, liquidity sweep, and long back into the structure. And if on that long we lose the buy side on order flow and we see a lot of volume trading on the bid, all right, and a lot of reloading on that bid, then we're going to head down, and I'll take the short as well. So there's 3 trades down on that level, and then if we could reclimb to the 96 to the 04, a short is probably to be had there. I want to avoid the middle of this kind of nasty range. If you look at it, we're sort of, in the bottom third of the overnight range, but we're still in the chop. I want to avoid this chop, so I'm trying to trade the edge. My order flow analysis is most precise, accurate, and lethal at trading at the edge, looking order flow at the edge, because you're going to see more imbalances. And I like to say in the trading room that if there's no imbalance, there is a balance. And if there's a balance, what are you really trading? Where's the opportunity? All right. Love you guys. Have yourself a great day. Hope you enjoyed this update. The notes didn't work, so I couldn't look at the camera, but I think this works too. Join us for a Black Friday as well. Check out TradeProAcademy.com if you are going to do it. Link is in the description. I think the code is BF2025. I really, really, really hate discounts on products. But it's probably going to be the last discount we do until this time next year. I don't mind it on Black Friday. I hate sales. I love you guys. Because you know why? Sales make you buy crap you don't need. And I don't want to work with people that don't think that they bought it and they didn't need it, right? It's like, how many times do you buy crap on Black Friday you don't need that ends up sitting in your garage? You do a garage clean out and you're like, the only reason I bought this is because it was cheap. But there wasn't really any value to me after buying it. Like, go buy that treadmill and put it under the couch. Like, I hate sales. Anyways, it's not important what I like or not. I love you guys, and that's important. Check out our Black Friday sale that I hate. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.